Welcome to the Birding for Joy podcast, a show about discovering and exploring all the ways birding and wild birds bring joy into our lives. I'm Candi Lynn Fite, your gracious host and joyful birder. If you're curious about learning more about birding for joy, grab your favorite beverage, settle on your perch, and let's get into today's episode. Hello, birdiful friends. If you've listened to Birding for Joy before, welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, I am so happy you're here. This episode is the second installment of the Short and Tweet Summer Birdin series. Summer birding is anything but boring when it comes to the amazing world of hummingbirds. Zipping, hovering, diving, flying sideways, and even backward, these amazing winged creatures are sure to provide entertainment for birders of all ages and experiences. If they don't impress you with their helicopter flying abilities and 30-mile-per-hour plus speeds, then prepare to be dazzled and delighted with their shimmer and iridescent colorings. And though they be but little, they are fierce. Hummingbirds are solitary tiny warriors of the avian world. In a constant state of claiming and defending territories and seeking food and water, their survival skills are strong. They can consume up to half their body weight in food daily and lower their body temperature every night to conserve their energy. The humming sound we hear is created from the fury of their wing beats, more than 50 beats per second. From deep magenta, saturated blues, vivid greens, and an insane spectrum of ultraviolet blended hues, their colors almost seem ethereal. According to Lorna Gibson, a retired materials science professor from MIT who taught a course called How Birds Work, hummingbird feathers create their magical effects by capturing, bending, and reflecting beams of sunlight using almost conceivably tiny structures built into their feathers. There are approximately 340 hummingbird species living exclusively in the Western Hemisphere, with only 15 species living in the United States. Although they mostly feed on nectar from either flowers or feeders, they also have a big appetite for insects such as gnats, mosquitoes, and flies. The females, who are left alone after mating to build the nest and tend to their nestlings, feed their young a liquidish, slurry mix of nectar and bugs to their young. A big shout out to all the single bird mamas out there in the avian world. To wrap up the Summer Hummer episode, let's chat about how we can encourage hummingbirds into our yards. To create a hummingbird habitat in your garden, focus on these 5 things: flowers that provide nectar, insects, water, shelter for nesting and safety, and trees and shrubs for them to rest and perch. If you choose to put out nectar feeders, opt to making your own nectar with 4 parts water to 1 part white sugar. I will drop helpful links in the show notes for creating a hummingbird habitat along with specific plants and a nectar recipe. So there you have it. I hope you all experience joyful fun this summer while birding with the hummers. If you are enjoying the Birding for Joy podcast, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the show. Subscribing and tuning in to the episodes lets the algorithm on each platform know the podcast is providing you worthwhile content. It also helps ensure the success of the show. Remember, the absolute best way to support your favorite podcast is by word of mouth. So make sure to share Birding for Joy with others who might enjoy listening. That way we continue to build a joyful birding community. As always, thank you for tuning in and stay chirpy, my friends.